You ever see something that's just wrong? A piece of trash, a busted park bench, maybe a glitch in an app you use, and you think, ugh, someone should really fix that. Well, what if that someone could be you? And what if you could actually get paid for it? I'm not kidding. That's the wild idea behind a company called CleanApp. They're all about turning your everyday feedback into actual cold, hard cash. So let's get into it. But before we get into how they do it, let's just take a step back and think about the big picture here. What's the real cost of living in a world that's, well, a little bit broken? All those little things we see every day, they add up. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's that trash can in the park that's just spilling over, the pothole you have to swerve around every single morning, the sticky floor at the grocery store. We see this stuff so often, we kind of just tune it out. We become blind to it. But here's the thing. These broken feedback loops, that's just a fancy way of saying problems that nobody reports or fixes. They have a real tangible cost. And sometimes that cost isn't just a little inconvenience, it's massive. I mean, check this out. This is a real world example. A simple slip and fall on a wet floor at a Starbucks, something that could have been fixed with a mop and a sign. It went unaddressed, and boom, a $7.5 million lawsuit. Why? Because the jury basically said, you were negligent, you didn't maintain your property. Ouch. So when you start adding it all up, all the little repairs, the huge legal payouts like that one, the customers you lose because your place is a mess, the final number is just, it's staggering. We're talking about an estimated $1 trillion a year. Yeah, that's trillion with a T. That's the cost of just not fixing things. Okay, so clearly the way we're doing things now just isn't cutting it. It's broken. But what if there was a better way? What if we could just flip this whole problem on its head? What if we could actually incentivize regular people to report problems and give businesses a real reason to fix them, like right away? And that, right there, is where cleanup comes into the picture. Their whole idea is built on a super simple but really powerful concept, summed up in just 3 words. Trash is cash. They've built a platform that they say is the world's easiest and most rewarding way to leave and keep track of feedback. It's kind of genius, right? Think about it like this. You know the saying, put your 2 cents in? Well, with CleanApp, your 2 cents are actually worth, well, a lot more than 2 cents. The whole idea is boiled down to this. You see a problem, you report it, you get paid. Simple as that. And we're not just talking about, litter on the sidewalk. This platform works for pretty much anything. It covers feedback for physical places, like, say, a bunch of tires illegally dumped in the desert, but also for digital spaces. Think annoying bugs or a really confusing menu in an app. So, how easy is it? They designed it to be totally effortless. It's basically like a magic one-click camera. You see that broken bench, you pull out your phone, open the app, snap a picture. One click. And that's it. You've just kicked off an instant feedback loop, sending that report straight into a system that's built to actually get it fixed. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. How does a picture of a busted bench magically turn into money in my pocket, right? What's the secret sauce here? Let's break down the economic engine that actually makes this whole thing go. It's basically a three-sided marketplace, and it works like this. First, you've got the reporters. That's us, the people on the ground, who get paid for submitting legit problems. Then you have reviewers. Their job is to get paid to double-check those reports and make sure they're real and accurate. And finally, you have the responders. These are the folks who can actually fix things, like the city or a coffee shop, and they pay to get access to all this verified data so they can solve problems super efficiently. When you put it all together, this simple structure creates this really powerful, self-sustaining system. The reporters, the reviewers, and the responders, they're all connected in this loop where everyone has a real financial reason to show up and do their part. It's like a perfectly balanced ecosystem. That's what keeps the whole machine running. It's a pretty elegant solution, honestly. And here's where it gets really interesting. This system isn't just for potholes and litter, not even close. It's really an all-in-one feedback platform. You can use it for civic stuff, yeah, like those potholes, but also for the hospitality industry. Think a messy hotel room or a dirty restaurant table. And maybe most importantly, it's a powerhouse for catching critical digital bugs for tech companies. And look, this isn't just some theory on a whiteboard. It's happening right now. Users on CleanUp are already finding and reporting major bugs for some of the biggest names in tech you can imagine. For instance, take a look at this. This is a real bug someone found in Google Ads. The install numbers are just way off. They don't add up at all. Now, for a company like Google, whose entire world revolves around accurate data, a find like this is absolutely critical.
Or how about this one? This was reported on XAI's SuperGrok. A user literally couldn't pay to upgrade their subscription because of a bug. I mean, that's a problem that directly stops a company from making money. You can bet they want to know about that one fast.
And then there's my personal favorite, this little gem found in Meta's Ad Manager. Now, I'm no math whiz, but I'm pretty sure you can't have 101.6% of your audience be anything. This is the exact kind of glaring, obvious error that companies are willing to pay to find out about, like yesterday. So, as you can see, this idea is really starting to take off. We're talking over 900,000 installs, a pilot program with the entire country of Montenegro, a partnership with New York City in the works, and they're the official feedback tool for the 2025 Ethereum World's Fair. That's not just hype, that's serious, real world validation. Okay, so with all that momentum building up, you gotta wonder, what's next? Where does a project this ambitious possibly go from here? Well, their roadmap is nothing short of bold. They're talking about a universal feedback API, so any app could plug into their system. They want to 100x their reporter base, from 1 million to 100 million people. They're planning deep gamification, leaderboards, achievements, making it all feel like a game. And then there's the really futuristic stuff, like trash former robots and plugging into wearable tech. And that vision leads to a future that sounds like something out of science fiction, right? Just imagine looking at a piece of graffiti through a pair of smart glasses, saying one word, report, and instantly it's logged and the money hits your account. That's the end game here. Completely seamless, totally hands-free feedback. Which brings us to a really fascinating final thought. We started this whole thing by asking about the trillion-dollar cost of a broken world. But CleanApp's answer is to just flip that question on its head. What if fixing the world wasn't a cost at all? What if it was a job? A job for everyone.